go. I get excited. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'll talk for an hour, 2 hours if you guys want me to.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to shut up so that you can talk. I'm really excited for you to be here. You have been absolutely crushing it pretty much since day one. And I'd love for, anyone who doesn't know you, Jay, if you can kind of give the backstory, like, where'd you come from, how long you've been doing this, and kind of introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
so I've been in insurance going on 4 years. I started when I was 19. I just turned 23, not even a month ago, like 15, 20 days ago. So I just turned 23. So I started when I was 19. I started at a previous company that was captive. Started there for 6 months, did really well there, was a top producer, top manager. And then 6 months later, I was there for 6 months and obviously came over to FFL. I've been here for about 2.5 years.
Got it. And major differences as far as like opportunity in the business, like what was that? Why was that so important for you to come here?
Yeah, so everything's lead flow. Like it's just common sense. If you don't have lead flow, you don't have the training, you don't have the mentorship, you won't make money. So the biggest thing is I was bringing in a lot of people and there was no leads. But when I came over here, I could recruit 1 million people and have enough leads to support it. So that was a big thing for me. Is just like over there, they were preaching build a business, but they didn't have leads to give my agent, so it made no sense. So came over here, unlimited leads, unlimited opportunity. I don't think any other IMO has a growth bonus. So like when people leave, I'm like, you're an idiot. But nobody has a growth bonus like we do. Nobody has the leads that we do. Nobody has the mentorship that we do. It's just finding the right mentor, getting around the right people.
Yeah, I love that. And Jay, you came in, you started selling at a high level. Now, obviously, you train agents and you're great at getting agents started and they sell at a high level, which I think is huge. What is like, if I'm a new agent and I come into you and I'm like, Jay, I'm brand new, no experience in the industry, just got here. What is your recipe to like getting going and hitting my goals quick?
Yeah. So if am I allowed to share my screen?
Yes, let me make sure. Yep, you got it.
So I have like a code of conduct thing, code of conduct on like my website. So basically, it's my agents like first 90 days because I feel like a lot of people they get in the opportunity and they think it's just going to change overnight, and that's not how it works. Like the biggest thing about being in here, guys, is it's a business. Like when I came into insurance, my mentor told me it's a business. Do not expect to make money in your first 3 years. So my expectations right away were I'll probably make some money, but I know I'm trying to build a business in a business, an average business doesn't become profitable for 10 years. And obviously, you can do it a lot faster in the insurance industry just because you're selling a need, not a want. So in the insurance industry, it's not based off the market or anything. Everybody dies, so everybody needs what we're selling. So here it was like a 2 to 3 year vision for me. So I was locked in for 2 to 3 years, basically just the way I look at it, and I know a lot of people's situations are different. When I came in the industry, all I cared about was building a business. Like all I cared about were my bills paid because as long as my bills were paid and I was selling, hiring, and developing people, I knew I was going to be successful in the business. Like if you could write that down, just 3 things to be consistent is selling, hiring, and developing. Everybody always says you have to sell and hire. This isn't a hiring industry. Nobody says Marissa's probably never given somebody $300 for recruiting somebody. It's not an MLM. It's not a pyramid scheme. Like it's not like, oh, go hire people, you'll make money. It's not how it works. You have to sell, hire, and develop, and you have to do all 3 things consistently. All 3 of them. Like some people will do 1 out of the 3. You won't make it. You're going to get burned out and you'll fail. Some people will do 2 out of 3. You won't make it. You'll fail. You have to do all 3 things consistently. You have to sell, hire, and develop, and you have to do it for 2 to 3 years consistently. Like the definition of insanity, like I heard a quote, like definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. But my code of conduct, to jump right into it. So basically, it's 90 days all in. It'll allow you to formulate a schedule. My daily expectations for everybody is development in this industry is the most important thing you'll ever learn because development is going to get you through adversity. So I always teach people every day with their daily expectations. Go to the gym every day. You have to have a healthy body. You have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be happy. A lot of people nowadays are depressed and anxious and not happy with themselves just because of how they look physically. So my daily expectations: go to the gym, learn your script, read 10 pages of self-development or sales trainings books, limit substances. A lot of people nowadays vape for some reason. Show presentable, $200 bare minimum. Guys, thing about my agency is we don't use phone burner, which everybody's like, no way you don't use phone burner. My agents hand dial. Three referrals per sale. Like I won't let my agents buy leads unless they collect 3 referrals per sale. 50 DMs a day. We do 50 DMs in the morning. So you guys have a Zoom culture, I'm assuming. So everybody on at 7 a.m. Like my sales training 7 a.m. If you're at 7:01, you're late, I kick you out and you're let back in at 8 a.m. when we start dialing. 50 DMs a day, daily affirmations, enroll 5 people in the course every week. write down rebuttals throughout the day, no negativity, be on time, be in contact with your mentor throughout the day. So I just kind of like have a code of conduct, if that makes sense. The goals for the next 90 days, how can we get you to $5,000 a week AP? So about $3,200 in commissions. How can we get you to sales manager in the next 60 days? How can I get you to save $20,000 in the next 90 days? Have 5 writing agents, read 3 books, and then here's my schedule. 6:55 at the office, 7 a.m. script training, 7:30 sales plus rebuttals training. On the phone, script training, go over rebuttals, lunch, phone, script. And then I have my own promotions within my agency, so I kind of put those in there. But kind of like a code of conduct, to be very honest with you, just because this is a business. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm 1099, do whatever I want. You're never going to be successful if you're just going to do whatever I want. Like, you're just never going to make it. This industry, you need a mentor in life. If you're trying to build a business, whether it's insurance, own your own restaurant, I don't care what it is, you need a mentor. And if the mentor says, hey, be on at 7 a.m., like, who would you want to trade places with? I'll trade places with Marissa. I know she makes good money. So I'm going to listen to her. If she says be on at 7 a.m., I'm going to be on at 7 a.m., no questions asked. And if she's on my ass, I'm not going to say, oh, 1099, I do whatever I want. Like, that just makes no sense.
That's so crazy that you said, like, who would I trade places with and why would I not listen to that person? So Jay, is that also your expectations to like be able to have your leadership, right? Like if you have a new agent and they show up and they're like, oh, sorry, Jay, I was just going to come in at 10 today. What do you do with that?
I kick them out. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Like, I'm not looking for insurance agents. Like, if you only want to sell life insurance, go work at State Farm. They give you a $4,000 salary, $2,000 a month salary, a cute 10% commission. Like, just go work at State Farm. Like, my expectation right off the rip is like, I'm here to help you build a business. I'm here to help you become profitable, and I'm here to help you build passive income. Like, financial freedom is passive income. It's not like selling insurance to me is a cooler 9 to 5. You make more money than a 9 to 5. It's just a cooler 9 to 5 to me. Like, how can I change your life financially? Well, I can change it selling insurance. Yeah, sure. But you're going to be in a constant loophole of you're going to make money doing it. It's just going to be stressful and anxious, but you're going to be in a constant loophole of chargebacks, buying leads, making money, chargebacks, buying leads, making money. In my opinion, the insurance industry's made passive income. How can I build an agency? Like, this month so far, the month of March, I've made $82,000 passively. I think I could talk numbers, right? I've made $82,000 this month passively. I'm 23 years old. Like, I'll be a multimillionaire this year because of the way that I do things. Like, if you don't want to build a business, I say get out of the office, because it makes no sense for you to be here, because I know what the industry does. I know what it's like selling and eating chargebacks, making money. Like, you can make a crap ton of money selling. But dude, it's like I said, you're basically a slave. Like, you guys hear like the Matrix and stuff. In my opinion, selling, if you're just going to do it for the rest of your life, like, you're just a slave to yourself. Like, you're just a slave, in my opinion.
Right. So Jay, you came in, you started building a business right away, or did you wait?
No. Right away. Guys, the biggest thing is like, everybody's like, well, I don't know how to do it yet. Like, I don't know how to sell. The biggest thing with me, guys, is responsibility. That's what will boost your productivity. Because let's say I hire Marissa. Now, like, I don't know how to do it. I'm going to have to figure it the hell out, because I got Marissa. Like, she's relying on me. She quit her job. Like, I got to show up. If you just Google search it, YouTube it, whatever you want to do, your productivity and your production will go up 34% when you have responsibility and you're anxious and stressed. It sounds crazy, but being stressed out and anxious, that's a good thing. That means you're pursuing something of value. If you're not stressed or anxious in life, you're pursuing nothing. You're not pursuing greatness. So like, when I'm anxious and I'm stressed out, like, I like that, because I know I'm pursuing something of value. I know what I'm doing is worth it, and I know my time is worth it.
Yeah. Were you ever nervous, like as a new agent, or when you have new agents who are not familiar with buying leads? What is that process for you to explain how important that is to people's business?
Buying leads, like, lead flow is cash flow. Let's say there's 117 people on this call. So let's say you're one of those agents that are busting through old leads. Now, when you make money, remind yourself, okay, I got to set money aside for leads, because now reflect back on when you used to run old leads and they were beat up. They sucked. Like, you were just, it was like working at my old captive company. They give you 200 leads for the month, and like, there you go. That's all the leads that you have. So like, that was the thing, is like, lead flow is cash flow. If you're too scared to invest in the leads, you're going to be too scared to build a business, because you're going to have to invest in your business. Like, I pay for Airbnbs, flights to Tampa. I pay for people's leads for the first month. Like, I do a lot with my business, and I'm not as scared to invest into my business.
Yeah. And Jay, do you guys have like a secret lead type that works better than everybody else's?
I know none of you guys are going to believe me, which is great. My agency only runs bronze and silver leads. Like, we don't, I promise you, We did $1.1 million last year off of only bronze and silvers. I might have one agent that runs a different lead source, but we only run ILC.
Got it. So a lot of times people get in this mindset that like, if these people are doing well, they have some sort of fancy sauce that I don't have access to. So what is it that those people are doing different? They're dialing more, they're working more hours. Like, what is that?
I would like to say like our script is really good, and I can always send it to you. I would like to say our script is really good, but like you said, they're putting in the hours. Like a lot of people, like I'll get on somebody's ass and I'll say, "Hey, dude, you haven't dialed all day," and then tomorrow they'll dial 200 people. Like, "Jay, I dialed 200 people, made no money." I'm like, "Dude, you got to do it for 6 days a week. You can't just dial one day 200 people and say, oh, I didn't make any money, it didn't work." Like that's not how it works. That's why I have the 90-day code of conduct. Because after your first 90 days, if you're not making 15, 20 grand a month consistently, you're like I tell people, if you can't make $2,500 a week, you're just not like, you're like wanting to see how long can I be broke? Like you're just not trying. If you can't make $2,500 a week net income after lead costs and everything, you're just like not trying. Like you're trying to, basically you're going on a financial like fast. You're just like, how long can I just be broke?
Right. Because you don't need sales experience, right? Did you have sales experience before you got into insurance?
No, I didn't make money for 2.5 months. I literally didn't know how to talk. Like my public speaking skills are really good now, but like the guys, they'd say, "So what's your name?" And I'd hang up. Like I'd freak out. Like I was terrible. Like I was god awful.
Yeah. That's huge. That's what I did too. That's what I was saying. Like if I didn't have that mentorship and that leadership to kind of like make me kick it into gear and hold me accountable, I would have had a hard time doing it on my own. So how important do you think that like that team culture is to have and to plug yourself in? Because a lot of times people get intimidated by it or they get worn out and they're like, it's just a lot. How important do you think that is to people's success to be like into everything?
So yeah, culture is everything, guys. That's gonna dictate your level of income in my opinion. Like guys, I know like I don't have one agent that works virtually on Zoom. Like I don't remember the last time I've even gotten on Zoom unless it was for a recurring call. But I don't, my agents move to me. Like I tell them this is how I made a lot of money is I moved to my mentor, and that's what I had to do. Like in my life, I grew up absolutely dirt broke. So when my mentor's like, "Hey, you got to move here. You'll probably make 100 grand your first year," I was like, "Well, I didn't go to college, so 100 grand my first year sounds like, if I got to move, I'll move." So that's the biggest thing about me is we dial our leads virtually. I don't run sales in homes. I just saw Alexander comment that. I just don't think, I think your house is meant to relax, use the restroom, eat dinner, watch movies. I don't think it's meant to work from, in my opinion. Just because like you get your ass kicked. Oh, my couch is right there. I'm gonna hop on TikTok for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes turns into 2 hours. 2 hours turns into 4 hours. I'm gonna call Marissa. Hey, I'm broke. This isn't working. And then it's like, no, you just didn't work. You just laid in your bed for 2 hours because you got your ass kicked for an hour, and you're like, oh, it didn't work. But I work, like all my agents show up to the office. So all my agents show up to the office, and like it's just like I'll have somebody that can barely speak English close a $2,000 deal. I'm like, and he's like, oh my God, if he can do it, I can do it. And they're like, I'll have like I'll have somebody in the office. It's just like, all right, I don't want to dial, but he just made $2,000, and there's no way I'm just gonna not dial because he just made 2,000. As much as I want to quit, I can't quit. Like if he can do it, I can do it. That was a big thing for me. Like getting into the office was like, all right, Marissa made $2,000. There's no way I'm gonna let Marissa make $2,000, and I'm just gonna sit here and look like a bum. Like that was the biggest thing for me is like, guys, like I would move down to Marissa. Like it's just common sense to me. If you're trying to change your life, like what are you willing to sacrifice to change your life? Like David Goggins said on Shawn Mike's podcast, like the guy was like, what are you willing to sacrifice? The guy goes, well, I'm not willing to sacrifice frappuccinos. And David's like, get the hell out of here. He's looking for the people that are like, what are you willing to sacrifice? And they're like, everything. Like I'm that kind of person. Like if Sean said, Jay, move to Vermont and open an office, I'm buying out my office lease, I'm buying out my house, and I'm moving to Vermont to open an office. No questions asked, because I'd want to trade places with Sean. So like if Sean said jump, I'd say how high. And I don't care if people think that's weird. It's just I'd rather trade places with Sean. Like whatever Sean says, I'm going to do because I know it works and I know where he's at.
Yeah, I love that. And from a leadership standpoint, I think what you do is so important for anybody on here that wants to build a team. I think a lot of times people look at it as like, oh, if I build a team, I can get out of here faster. You're like, I've been here 3 years, but I'm still in the trenches. How important do you think like you leading from the front and doing what you do and you being at the office at 7 a.m. has played into your success over the last couple of years?
Yeah, so my schedule for the last 2 years, I'd say for 2 years straight, I was waking up at 3:30 in the morning and I was in the gym by 4 a.m. Everybody's like, hey, you're psychotic, you're crazy. And I agree. I'm like, yeah, I am psychotic, I am crazy. But I woke up at 4 a.m. because if I did that for 300 days out of the year, I gained an extra 58 days. So I basically, my year is 14 months, your year is 12 months. So if I do that for 2 years straight, I'm gaining an extra 2 months. I'm gaining an extra 4 months. So that's how I look at it. It's like, all right, I'm working. I've done this for not 24 months. I've done this for 28 months. So like I'm getting ahead. I'm 4 months ahead of everybody else, or I'm 2 months ahead every year from everybody else. My schedule now is 5 a.m. I wake up at 4 a.m. in the gym by 5 a.m. Been slacking the last week a little bit. Won't lie to you guys. I'm human. Like everybody's human. They're gonna slack a little bit. But that's been my schedule. Is like that's the work that I put in because I got to lead from the front. Like I have a video on my phone. I had 30 agents up at 4 in the morning with me in the gym. Didn't ask one of them. I'm not like, hey guys, group photo in the gym at 4 a.m. Like they just, hey Jay, see you going to the gym at 4 a.m. Can I go with you? Like, yeah, of course. And building that culture is like, guys, I post on my Instagram, like you can look at my Instagram right now. I post on my Instagram a gym picture every single day. That holds me accountable because when I don't want to wake up in the morning, everybody knows if I don't post a gym post, they know I skipped the gym. So like, I'm like, okay, this sounds so stupid. It's like, why do you care what people think? It's like, I'm obsessed. I'm here to prove people wrong. Like, I hate people that say, don't prove anybody wrong. Just prove yourself right. Like, no, dude, like I'm trying to prove my doubters wrong, my haters wrong, people that said I couldn't do it. Like, I'm trying to prove everybody wrong. So I'm waking up at 4 a.m. It's like, all right, I got to get to the gym and take a gym post. Like, I feel like crap. I'm tired. I just got to do it. And I got to show up for my agents because I'll say, hey, Marissa, I'll meet you at the gym at 4 a.m. It's like, if I'm wake up tired, it's like, oh, okay, it's not like I'm not going to show up. I'm going to have to show up no matter how tired I am. So leading from the front, I'm up at 18 hours a day in the office for 12 or 13 hours a day.
That's so crazy, right? Because I think a lot of times too is like we think that like we're doing everything. Like we make excuses for ourselves, right, Jay? And you don't, obviously, but I think a lot of times we fall into the trap of like, oh, I'm working so hard. I'm working so hard. And it's like, honestly, Jay, I think probably the 117 people on this call, well, I'll just give some people credit. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that a lot of people are doing half of what you're doing. And they think, oh my goodness, I'm giving it my all. So it's so crazy how many, like the limit that we actually still have to push ourselves to.
100%. And it's one of those things, guys, where like, I don't know if anybody on this call ever like sat down with somebody that like Sean or Marissa or somebody, and it's just like, guys, I knew what it took. Like the expectation is 80 hours a week. This is what you got to do for your first 5 years in order to build a business. So I was like, all right, if he does it for 80 hours a week for 5 years, why would I not do it for 5 years, 80 hours a week? Like, who do I want to trade places with? Like, guys, what will change your life is building a business. Sell, hire, and develop. You've got to do it for 2 to 3 years straight. You can't just do it for a year, be like, oh, it didn't work. Guys, that's not how it works. It's like they got to pass their test. They got to get their license. They got to get fingerprinted. They got to go get contract. Now they got to learn how to sell. Like my expectations is, hey, Mercer, you're going to make 12 grand your first 3 months. They're like, only 12 grand. I'm like, yes, you're going to make 12 grand your first 3 months. I know they're going to make more than 12 grand. So like my girlfriend's little brother, for an example, I'm like, you're going to make 4 grand your first month. He made 12 grand his first month. And he goes, holy shit. Like I expected 4 grand. He made 12. So like I under promise and over deliver. I'm like, Mercer, you're going to make 80, 100 grand your first year. And I know they're going to make 150, 200 grand their first year with our sales training and our systems. And I know they're going to make more, but when I set that expectation, you're going to make 80 grand and they make anything over 80 grand, it's boom. Like they're bought in, they're loyal to me. Like you build loyalty by being transparent. Like nobody has to preach loyalty. Like as long as I'm transparent with my people, they're going to be loyal to me because they know that I'm a really transparent person. So like knowing that if you're broke, that's completely normal. Like in my opinion, when you're selling, if you're like 1 month you make 20 grand, next month you make 12 grand, guys, that's normal. You can't look at it like, oh, it's so inconsistent. It's like, yeah, building a business, it's going to be inconsistent. Like that is normal. Like if you're broke and you're selling, hiring, and developing people, I will like shake your hand right now because I know you're going to be rich. But if you're broke and you're not selling, hiring, and developing people, you're just an idiot and you're just broke. Like you're just not working. Like you're not selling, hiring, developing people. But if you're broke and building a business, that's okay. Like you're selling, hiring, developing people. That like it's okay to be broke because you're putting your time and your money into your business. But what's not okay is to be broke and you're not doing anything. Like that's completely on you. And then you start blaming Marissa and then you go leave a comment in Glassdoor that says FFL sucks. It's like, no, you're just an idiot. You suck.
It just didn't work. Jay is straight up. I love that. Jay's like, I'm not holding anything back. Okay, so for people that want to build a business, what should their expectations be for like the numbers? Like Jay, how many people do you talk to every week that you're like, I want to put into class, or how many recruits are you bringing in before you get to the point where like they actually got started and sold a policy? Because that's a numbers game too, right?
Yeah. So like, I'm going to be honest with you. My retention on agents is probably 98%. Like I've hired 155 agents last year and I think 5 or 6 quit because the in-office culture that we had and the expectations I set, it's just like, dude, you're going to be broke for 2 to 3 years. Like I set that expectation. You're going to be broke for 2 to 3 years. Like, what do you mean? I'm gonna make no money. I'm like, no, you're gonna make money, but I'm gonna show you how to build a business. And in order to build a business, you're gonna be broke for a little bit building that business. And that's just how the business works. So having that culture, I've only had 5 people, 6 people quit the last year. Biggest thing. What was the question? Sorry, I get obsessed. And I start talking.
No, just the expectations. Like how many people, someone wants to build a business, how many people should they be trying to talk to about this opportunity every week or bring into the business?
Like as many as you can. Like 50 people, guys. 50 people is not a lot of people. We're like 50 people. That's so many, guys. Take 50 people divided by 7 days out of the week. You got to talk to 7 people. Like you're telling me you can't DM, you can't. You're telling me you can't talk to 7 people in public. Like guys, I was a person at a drive-thru. I'm like, what do you do? Are you in college? Like, do you like working at McDonald's? Do you want to get into sales? Like, what's your Instagram? Like, I'm the guy that's like, if they're like right here, I'm like, let me see your phone. Like, here's my phone. I'm like, I grab it from like, all right, perfect. I'm gonna follow myself on Instagram, and then I'm gonna DM you. Like, I'm like a crazy person. I'm like, it's just like sales. Like, I'm like, no, Larry, go grab your checkbook. I'm gonna wait here. Just let me know when you got it. Jay, I don't want to grab it. I don't care that you want to grab it. Go grab it. It's like, let me see your phone. I'm gonna hire you tomorrow. You're gonna come into the office. You're gonna see our culture. You're gonna love it. Like everybody's goal on here should be to open an office or go move to Marissa and go in the office wherever she's at. Like your goal should be to open office. You'll become 100 million times more profitable opening an office. Like you won't have to worry about roll up debt. Haven't had to worry about it for a year and a half. Literally haven't had it for a year and a half. Haven't had roll up debt. Haven't had my agent's retention is a lot higher. Our average retention 12-month is 85, I think it was, or 82, 83. Our 12-month retention is good. Our profitability is really good. Our ROI is really good. Like getting in the office and opening your own office will be the best decision you'll ever make.
Yeah, that's huge. Jay, did you always have that belief? Like when you first came on with FFL, did you think like I'll be making 82K a month at some point, and or did that belief in
100%.
yourself and you knew that from day one?
It starts with self-development, guys. It's like I knew I like when I'd open my bank account to say like $100, I'm like, that's so dope because I know 3 years from now I'm gonna have $300,000 saved. Like I just like know like when I open my bank account, I'm like, all right, sick. Like I know like I'm broke now, but I know where I'm gonna be at. Like I was the type of guy like I'll sell my car to put money into leads because I'm like I'm the type of guy I'll sell my car knowing that I'll be able to buy that car 100 times 5 years from now, or I'll sell my couch knowing I'll be able to buy 5 or 10 of those 20 years from now. I'm just like a not necessarily a long-term guy, but like a 5 year guy where I'm like, dude, I know if I sell, hire, and develop people, it all comes down to selling, hiring, developing. I know if I sell, hire, and develop people, like I'll be able to buy whatever back. If I got to sell my couch, my car, like whatever it is, like I'll know I'll be able to buy that back 5 years from now if I sell, hire, and develop. Like that was just a sacrifice I was willing to make.
Yeah. So is there anything, Jay, that like you wouldn't give a chance, or like any person that says, Jay, I'm really interested in the opportunity, no matter what their background, no matter what they have experience in, do you give them a shot? Or do you ever say, hey, I don't think that this is good for you? Or are you just
If
like,
they could have a team of 30 people at AIL or my old company, and they could have 30 people there, and they're like, Jay, and if I'm like, yo, you got to move to Tampa, they're like, no, I'm like, all right, best of luck to you, good luck, and I'll just let them go. Like I don't train virtually on Zoom, I don't get on Discord, I don't because the in-office culture, I just know what it does, and I know that person that worked at my old company, they're coming from an in-office culture. I know when they go to Zoom and work virtually, it won't work. I just know it won't. Like they won't be profitable. If their agents will quit, their culture will suck. The environment will suck. Like I just know it just won't work. Like at my ages, I take the top golf. I took my top producers to Puerto Rico. I'm taking my top producers to Las Vegas in April. Like I'm able to develop a culture, and that culture is just like it's just. I just know people are going to last long term, and I know if they sell, hire, and develop, they're going to make a lot of money.
so if they're like, Jay, I have no other experience other than, I just graduated high school and I worked at McDonald's for a couple months, but I'm willing to move and do what you tell me to do, they're in.
Here's your I'm buying your plane ticket and your gas. Like I pay for everybody's plane ticket and gas. I have a team house, guys, where like they basically I'm like, hey Marissa, you have 1 month rent free. After that, you have to go get your own apartment in Tampa. I'm like, you have 1 month rent free. I pay for your lease. So I pay for everything for the first month besides food.
You have a team house.
Yeah, it's like a frat house, but like entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneur house. That's sick. And what I love about this so much, guys, is a lot of you guys are taking a lot from this, and some of you guys are like, whoa, I can't do. The point is, like, you don't necessarily have to do everything Jay does, but the point is, like, look at the conviction that he runs his business with. Like, he's not someone that's like, I made these rules for myself and I set these goals for myself, but if someone else tells me, hey, just do this, I'm just gonna not do that. Right? Like, he's like, I told you you have to move to Tampa or I can't work with you, and he means that.
Oh,
Like,
100% mean that.
did you ever deviate from that at all? Like if you thought like, oh, I got this really good guy, but he doesn't want to do things the way, or you just say, hey, we're not a good fit.
No, yeah, I just say, hey, dude, you got to go work for somebody else. Like it won't work. I know what it takes to work. I've been doing it for 4 years. I know it won't work. And like, even if you got kids, guys, like look at Sean's story. Like he had kids and he was running in-homes and everything. Like, in my opinion, like everybody's like, I'm like, do you want to spend time with your kids? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, so are you willing to sacrifice 2 years not seeing your kids, maybe off and on seeing your kids, but then you get to spend the rest of your life spending the time with your kids? Would you do that? They're like, well, yeah, but then it's time to do it, and then they don't do it. Like in my opinion, like if I had two kids, they're 5 or 6 years old, I'm sacrificing 2 years of my life so I can watch them to grow up the rest of their life. And instead of going back to a 9 to 5, getting off at 5 o'clock, doing the dishes, cooking dinner, doing the laundry, going to bed, and repeating that until I'm 65, I retire on a 401k and I'm broke. Like it just doesn't that lifestyle doesn't resonate with me. Like being like I will never quit this because like I could never ask another grown man, hey, can I go watch my daughter's ballet? Like there's no way am I gonna ask a dude if I can go see my daughter or son play baseball. Like no way. Like it's just not happening. Like I'm gonna be, hey guys, I'm going to see my daughter. Like good luck, keep the office safe. Like don't kill each other.
Yeah.
I don't have
So
a daughter or son, by the way.
so your leadership now, because now you're pouring this into your entire team. Are they expanding to other locations or everyone's still staying in the same place?
So that's the thing with us is like we're a year and a half new from blowing up. So like I don't have that experience yet. Like my guys, my average agent's 19 years old, 20 years old. Like I have the youngest team in FFL by far. My youngest agents or my average agent's 19 or 20 years old. So having to develop that maturity, that's the only downside to working with younger guys or younger girls is just that you have to develop them more. You have to spend more time developing the maturity. But yeah, the goal is like my people are coachable. We started in Nebraska. Like we had 50 guys in Nebraska. All 50 of them, I'm like, hey guys, we're moving to Florida. And I'm like, they're like, why? I'm like, Sean said Tampa's a hot spot. He said move there. And I'm like, I swear to God, ask Sean. I was like, he said Tampa's a hot spot. And I called Sean. I said, do I bring everybody to Tampa? He goes, hell yeah, bring everybody. I said, have a meeting. I said, all right, we're moving to Tampa. Everybody's like, okay, perfect. Let me go look at Airbnbs and apartments to rent. So it was just
Great.
like I had that culture. Like now it's like now I'm looking to expand to Dallas, Texas, Indianapolis, Nashville. Like I'm looking to expand and grow it because I know if they have the culture I have, they have the environment that I have, they duplicate what I do, they follow the blueprint. I know they're gonna set themselves up.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the reality is like if you want to, you will. Right? Like some people are like, oh, I would if I could do this, or I just have this, or I have this. And the reality is like, if you want to make it happen, you'll just figure out how to make it happen.
100%. Your why is not big enough. Like if you have to make excuses for something, your why is not big enough. Like you must like, yeah, your why is not big enough. I won't be too transparent.
Yeah, I love that. Jay, this has been phenomenal. I think this is exactly the energy that we needed. And I think it's super important to see the perspective of what you're building on a daily basis. And I can definitely see why you have gone from 0 to 1 million in what, like 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. I would say, yeah, 2 years. I would say a year and a half, but 2 years, just because like I had a little thing where I stopped working for 2 months too, guys, where I ran into some personal stuff. Like I've had a crazy story. So like if you ever think about quitting, I should have been the one. Like if I quit, everybody would be like, yeah, that made sense. But no, I had a crazy story.
And you came back and did it no matter what.
Yeah, if you want, I'll tell people my story. It was crazy. But like, guys, there's no level of adversity that you can't get through. Like, there's not like adversity is where you grow. It's like hitting the gym. Like, how do you build muscles? You tear down muscle and it builds back stronger. Adversity is meant to tear you down and build you back stronger. Just like going to the gym and lifting weights. Is like when you tear down your muscle, it comes back stronger. You might be sore a little bit, it might suck. Same thing with adversity. It's like tearing down your muscles, tearing you down mentally. It might suck for a little bit, but you're gonna grow back stronger.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, this has been phenomenal, and I cannot thank you enough. I know this was short notice. I've been wanting to ask you forever, but I just like I'm not a planner, so I never think of it till like Monday morning. So, this has been huge, Jay. Anything else that you feel like is you need to leave us with, or anything that you feel like our new agents need to hear?
Yeah, 100%. There's just no better opportunity, guys. Like I promise you there's no better opportunity. I don't care what it is, what people tell you. Like I swear I'm the most transparent person. I'm not biased. There's no better opportunity. Like you're in the insurance industry, people need what we sell. It'll never get saturated. Like it's not based off the market. You're in a recession-proof industry, but you have to treat it like a business. You cannot treat it like a cooler 9 to 5 job. Like one thing with marketing, guys, is I don't market work from home, work from the comfort of your bed, because who am I marketing to? I'm marketing to losers. Like I'm like, no, guys, this is gonna suck. It's gonna suck for 2 years. You're gonna hate your life for 2 years. It's gonna be miserable for 2 years. But would you rather be miserable for 2 years to set up the rest of your life, or would you rather be miserable for 40 years and retire at 65? Your back hurts, you have diabetes, you have a high blood pressure. We sell people that are 65 that are effed up. Like, do you want to be that person at 65 effed up on a 401k and barely can afford rent? Like, we don't want to be those people. We want to go out there. You have one, like Barbara from Shark Tank said, you have one life. Why be mediocre? There's just no reason to. Another thing, guys, is I hope all of you guys are taking notes, because note takers are money makers. I've had notes for 3 years just going down. Like, it's like, I probably just like infinite, where like my notes are just everything to me. Like, I go back to my notes from 3 years ago when I was personally developing, watching YouTube videos from 3 years ago, copy and paste and put in my group chats now. So like notes is everything, guys. It's just, you got to be able to take notes. Note takers are money makers.
Yeah. Well, Jay, this is absolutely phenomenal. Do you, because these guys are gonna like have a heart attack if I don't ask you on this chat, do you share your script or not usually? Like your
So
agent?
this is the one thing I'll share to you guys. I mean, if you guys have time, I'll break down my script for you. It takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, give me 1 second. I would like to say I have the best sales training. I'll go pound to pound with Sean. But we do silver and bronze leads. The biggest thing, guys, is there's 8 psychological points that you have to hit to a script. There's 8 psychological points. Like, if your mentor says, here's a script, it works, like, go ahead and do it. Like, they just made a script because they just made it. It makes no sense. So one, there's 8 psychological points to a script that you have to hit. A lot of people just say, here's a script, best of luck. Like, go at it, it works. But they never they never do the psychology behind the script, if that makes sense. So that was the biggest thing for me, is like making a script that psychologically made sense. I got people to say yes. This won't load, so I won't spend too much time on it. But let me go back to the script. You guys can see the script?
Yeah.
Okay. So biggest thing, guys, is all my agents, I force them to get on Google Meet or FaceTime or Zoom. So face-to-face, it's basically an in-home. I've never had somebody on FaceTime hang up on me in the middle of a presentation. Guys, when I run silver and bronze leads, it's, guys, everybody says, oh, final expense retention is terrible. It's like, no, you're just a terrible agent. Like, we only run final expense. Like, we're trying to get into mortgage and IULs and stuff, but IUL production is boosted. But back to it, guys, is like, if they're on Social Security or disability, you want to put them into a niche. Like, there's one side, you have the first part of the script is control. You have 7 seconds to make it make sense to the client. Like, for an example, when you drove on the interstate, and has anybody seen a cow before? Have you ever pulled on the side of the road to take a picture of a cow? Probably not. But if you saw a purple cow, would you pull over and take a picture of a purple cow? Yes. So that you have to be that purple cow on the phones. You got to separate yourself from everybody else, and you got to be that purple cow on the phone. The next thing is category. You have to put them into a category. Hey, I'm on Social Security. Yeah, most families I work with are on Social Security. Hey, I'm on disability. Yeah, most families I work with are on disability. Hey, I work. I'm currently working. Yeah, most people I talk to are employees. You have to put them into a niche, and I'll send this script to you guys too. My job is to do 2 things and 2 things only. One, get you caught up to everybody else on Social Security, disability that have not got this taken care of. Just because you should have gotten this taken care of a while ago, you're probably busy and missed us. And then this is the main thing, guys, that sells everybody. My job, Marissa, is to go over the 4 major concerns everybody on Social Security, everybody working, everybody that has a 401k is having. Does that make sense? And then emotional, you have to be able to build emotion. If you died yesterday with no life insurance, how would it affect your family? And do you have a plan put in place to protect them? No, they don't. And then I go into the first major concern, lack of income protection. Guys, sales is all about asking questions. Lack of income protection. Marissa, are you currently married? Do you have a husband? Are you the main income earner? You are? Okay, perfect. God forbid you were to pass away. Not only are we going to lose you, we're going to lose your paycheck coming in the house. You make $4,000 a month. Your husband makes $1,000 a month. Marissa, if your husband lost that $4,000 a month coming in the house, would you be struggling financially? Yes, you would. Perfect. So lack of income protection. I had them write this down. I'm going to have you write down the 4 major concerns. I'm going to have you circle the ones that are concerned to you at the end of this. So when they go to say, I want to think about it, I say, Marissa, what do you mean you want to think about it? You circled 3 out of the 4 major concerns. My job is to get that taken care of. There's really nothing to think about. Second concern, lack of living benefits. Now, does anybody get sick at the right time? No, exactly, which is we don't know where we're going to be at financially when we are sick. Even worse, we don't know where our family will be at financially if we were to become sick. 85% of the time when something happens to someone, it's usually from a critical, chronic, or terminal illness. 70% of the time, people before 65 will have a living benefit qualifying event. Third concern, lack of funeral expenses. Fourth concern, lack of debt protection. Guys, that closes everybody, because I'm like, all right, Marissa, out of the four major concerns, I'm going to have you circle the ones that are concerned to you. Which one are concerned to you? They're like, oh, all 4 of them are concerned, is what 90% of the people say. And then my silver bullet, guys, after this, bro, it's self-explanatory. My silver bullet that closes everybody is I'm just like, hey, Marissa, have you ever experienced death in the family? They're like, yeah, my mom died. I'm like, did she have life insurance? No, she didn't. Walk me through your financial situation when your mom died. Did you have to set up a GoFundMe, pull money together? What did it look like? They're like, yeah, Jay, matter of fact, we did have to do a GoFundMe. I'm like, exactly. You circled those 4 major concerns because you didn't want your daughter to go through what you went through when your mom passed away with no life insurance. Or let's say they're like, yeah, my mom did have life insurance. That's great. My job is to make sure you're being proactive, just like your mother was. Make sure you follow in your mother's footsteps when it comes to responsibility. Make sure you're getting your foot in the right direction, just like your mother got her foot in the right direction. Obviously, Marissa, you want to make sure you do what your mother does, right? Your mother says, your mother says, oh, I do dinner at 5 p.m. Guess what? When you have kids, you're going to do dinner at 5 p.m. If your mother had life insurance, Marissa, what are you going to do? You're going to get life insurance. It's just common sense. And then that's it, guys. Like, that's like my silver bullet. 4 major concerns. My mortgage protection, I have 5 major concerns. Like, those will kill, like, that's just a killer to everything. Because when they go to say, I want to think about it, there's no such thing as saying, there's no, I want to think about it. My agents don't get, I want to think about a rebuttal. Just because, like, when people get, I want to think about it, it's value. The script gets people interested. The price gets them what? They're like, oh, do I want to pay $100 a month? The price gets them thinking selfishly. Then you hit them with more value, which the value is they circled the 3 out of the 4 major concerns. You go back and rebuild the value and people want to think about it, which is the whole purpose of the 4 major concerns.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That
I'm
was
like a bit.
outstanding. No, this is fantastic. Everyone's gonna, and I hope, guys, as we listen to this, that now we can take and implement that, right? Because the reality is, like, Jay doesn't have to do this. And I give Jay so much credit because he didn't have to be on a call with me at 8:30 p.m. He didn't have to give us the script. And a lot of people would say, hey, no, Marissa, love you, sounds good, that's cool, we're cool, but like, I'm not going to share that what I do because I only want it for my team. So the fact that he even got on here and did that for us and shared any of that with us is a huge game changer for us. So Jay, we cannot thank you enough. We're just honored to have you, and we're rooting for you, and we're continue to
I
just be
appreciate it. I don't share my script to anybody. Like, I'm being very honest and transparent with you. I don't. So when you guys ask me, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it. But I never share my script to anybody. So there you go. That's why we close silver and bronze leads.
Yeah, well, that means a lot to us, Jay, and we're just excited to be on the same team as you. So thank you so much for all you did for us tonight.
All right, you guys take care.
Yep. All right, guys, we will be on live dials tomorrow. We'll be killing it. We'll be doing what we can do. I have the recording of this, so I will just do my best to go in there and see if I can type out what Jay had typed out. And I'll see if I can come up with something. But other than that, guys, let's actually implement what he talked about. Let's get on live dials and let's start reaching our goals and getting to where we want to and finding in the business what we came to the business for. So I love you guys. I'm proud of you guys. And I will see you tomorrow on live dials. And I'll see you in 2 weeks again on this team call. Have a good one, guys.